From wherever in the world you are watching, welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle. I'm John, and actually, I'm going to start the show tonight with a little bit of a tease, just purely because I've always wanted to do this. So, tonight, the highway's bright. Out of our way, mister, you best keep, because summer's here, the time is right for racing in the street. Welcome to Wafflers Wednesday. There we go. What a way to start. And actually, welcome to a show about cars, or should that really be the whole experience of actually driving in Florida and the experience of Ben and Becca, who hired a car and drove in Florida for the very first time. So I'm actually going to ignore Ben to begin with, because Becca was chief navigator extraordinaire, I'm pretty sure. We've also got a big welcome to Ben and Becca. So hello, guys.
Hello.
Yeah, and we've got Claire, who still holds the land speed record for driving a car between Miami to Orlando. If that was only just to get away as far and as quickly as possible from Miami. So yeah. Welcome to Wednesday, Claire. There we go.
I know, and I'm on the top shelf tonight. I feel
this
like
is good. This is
right.
It won't last long, but we'll take it.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Look, he'll just work his round. He'll work his round, Claire. Just you wait.
Short-lived excitement to be on
there
top.
We go. Naughty step already, anyway. But I'm just very aware. Now, this time last week, we began a show where we basically showed our great British ignorance for all things American.
Casserole.
And and so much to do with Thanksgiving. And yet, I actually think if you're watching and listening to us in America just now, you are probably on that wind down or maybe that wind up, isn't it, towards Thanksgiving. And all we'd like to say is, for everybody who joined in last week, we had the most incredible amount of people watch last week's show. We are really thankful for that. But also, just for everyone who watches us from America, or indeed if you're American and you watch in the UK, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys.
Because it's Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah, it's just like, it's a really big thing. And
Turkey Eve. Does that...
Yeah. they pardoned the turkey. So
we don't. I never knew.
Share that with us. Thanks very much.
I learned something last week.
Yeah.
If you're in America and you're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving tomorrow, which I think most people do, how many casseroles are you going to have? Is what I want to know. Are you like a 3 casserole household, or are you?
Yeah, but you need to get another one just in case. Because there's always that family members that always turn up unannounced. So you might have to have the extra spare casserole.
Or do they have to bring one? I genuinely
make them bring their own.
Yeah.
If you're showing up out of the blue, bring your own casserole.
Yeah, exactly.
Your own pie. Too.
If you want to know even more about Thanksgiving, just make sure you go back onto our YouTube channel and find this show. It was incredible.
Yeah. Thank you, Carrie. Definitely. Thank you, Carrie, for your time.
Carrie, what an absolute blast. And actually, we got so much out of that show ourselves personally. But also, it was Mark Whiting who joined us in the Waffler's Arms and actually sent us the picture of the turkey being pardoned. So a massive thank you for that one as well. But just a real nice reminder that, we might be late November here, but actually we'd still love to be over there. And I for one would really love to be part of like everyone's Thanksgiving. So yeah, I'll put my name down. I'll put my name for next year maybe. I'm not sure it's that. I don't know why. It just intrigues me as an actual celebration. It really intrigues me, and I've got to say, I was so thankful we had Carrie with us last week because she really kept us. She kept us on the straight and narrow, and actually taught us so much that was really useful. So a massive thank you for that.
And
but
John,
I'm off topic.
I
topic.
I just wanted to say, I know that for anyone who's joining us for the first time for a while, we aren't routinely going through and saying hello to everyone.
No.
Because we were spending hours doing that, and then we were missing out on some of the fun of the show. However, I do just want to recognise that Mark Jones has made it to a live show.
Oh, wow.
First time for a little while.
Thank you, Mark.
And Mark, we're really pleased to see you. And share your 3 casseroles. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have you with us.
Yeah, I think as well, Claire, what we have said, and people in the chat the past few weeks have been really good with this, is carry on your chat. We love that part of it. We'll
read it as we're talking.
We'll keep clicking it up, and we'll put up stuff in on the show as well. But what we're trying to do is avoid me, in particular, going off topic, so we don't go right until like 10 o'clock UK time. We become a little bit more succinct. I think that's it.
Yeah, we'll see if that works.
Actually, we've got quite a few friends with us tonight who haven't been here for a while. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. I've just seen a number of other names, and I'm just like,
it's really cool. So nice. And actually, without going down the list, because it's not like doing register in school, isn't it? And things like that. So we know you're here. We also, and I think this is maybe. This is where my mind goes with this, is the fact that we need to do a show every Thanksgiving Eve, just because we get so many of you guys joining us. And actually, that could be something for next year. We'll do a
we're planning already.
Thanksgiving Eve show. There you go.
What day will that fall on?
I'm guessing it'll always be a Wednesday, Becca. So don't you worry. Even I'm not going to fall for that trick question. Yeah.
I like the fact that Carrie has just mentioned emergency chairs for any PTK fans in the house. Absolutely. That's Christmas at our house. I usually have the piano stool. That's kind of how it works. Anyway, John,
a set of chairs, but we need tonight's going to be a long drive, so I think we should get back.
It is, and actually, this is really good because it's actually weighted quite nicely here, because Claire and I are probably 2 people who would never ever be without a car in any Florida trip, because actually it is just the one thing. I think we said it in one of the shows that we did when we talked about transportation.
Yeah, definitely.
Having a hire car is freedom, and actually for me, I would be driven up the wall, not literally, but I would just hate to be sort of completely ensconced in one place, knowing that I couldn't just go in the car for a drive, because I drive for a living, but I love driving, and I love being able to have that ability to just go, even if it's only 10 minutes, but it's just that breathing space. But,
do you know what, John? I've experienced it both ways, though, in terms of I've had a car most of the trips, but the last trip I did on my own last December, I did not have a car, because I was there on my own, and it felt, the first time I went on my own, I did have a car, and it was great. Second time, it was a bit weird, I'll be honest with you. I felt really beholden to the Disney transport gods, and I didn't feel comfortable taking an Uber on my own, and I did get a couple of lifts from people here and there. I got a Zuber at one point, thank you very much, sat around, and Jason gave me a lift when we went to play mini golf, but I really felt a bit curtailed in everything I could do, so I didn't feel able to just like get on and do everything that I wanted to do, which is a bit strange. And actually, when I'm there next week, I don't know if I mentioned I'm going next week.
Only the odd 100 times at least. we might be up to 998 or something like that, you know. But
there's only one more time.
I have not mentioned it as much as other people have mentioned their trips. I'm just saying.
Okay, I will have that noted too. Yeah.
Anna and
it's a competition.
We don't have a car next week, and
that's probably just as well.
Well, we wouldn't be able to drive it very far because
that's what I was thinking. It's just like when you go back, and Anna was part of the original Glotini girls.
I
actually don't think the two of you. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm thinking, you're not really going to be Glotini, right? It's just going to be gin, more gin, and then a different type of gin, and then I tell you what, we might have a cocktail. We'll have a cocktail to just finish the night off nicely.
Cocktail will probably have gin in it.
Anna's using the Skyliner.
We're staying at Gran Destino, so I don't know where she's going on this Skyliner.
Heading over to the Riviera.
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
So I have had the experience of not having a car, and I totally get what you mean, John, in terms of the fact that it does feel a little bit unusual, because you can't just jump in the car and nip to Publix, or I'm going to go up to the outlet, so I'm going to get there for 10 o'clock when I get there, when they open. It totally you are reliant on other people or Disney transport, and I find it a bit strange not having a car. I also love driving. I love driving in Orlando in America. I don't love the I-4, but I don't think anyone does. But
no one does.
Does anyone in the chat love the I-4, other than the fact that it's a route into Orlando? But so I think it's an interesting discussion, because Ben and Becca, you've only just had the experience with a car.
We've done the opposite. This is our 12th, 13th trip, and all the other times we've either used. I think first trip we just used sort of the hotel shuttles for off-site, so we were sort of restricted to what times that they were going from the parks, and we had transfers from the airport to the hotel. Then we stayed on site at Disney, so we've used all the Disney transportation, buses, Skyliner, boats. But then
planes, trains, and automobiles.
I've done
that in a day.
Oh wow!
Really good for a full park challenge. But it's one of those things that, and then it's like we've used Uber a lot recently. And the reason we've never hired a car before, we'd always price up, because there's only two of us, how much it is to get an Uber to the off-site places we want to go, so Walmart, the outlets, and then we'd work out how much it is to hire a car. And then it's like, when you've had fuel, tolls, everything onto it, it's gone, doesn't make sense. Apart from this trip, where we were very lucky to find a Tesla cheaper to rent for a week than it was to do all Uber trips that we had planned.
Yeah.
And that's because you planned to do stuff off-site, hadn't you? That's the
not more than normal.
Okay.
So we didn't really plan to do a lot of the off-site restaurants until after we'd hired the car.
Yep.
It was a case of, we've got the freedom to go off-site a bit more
because we've got the car.
We'll try some of the off-site restaurants we've never done before.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the comparison? Because there's a number of things that are different.
Yeah, it's
about
weird.
The road system, particularly here at home. Even where we live.
Going straight into the jugular there, Claire. I must admit.
Do you know what? I think after a week of driving out there, I found it easier and a bit more simpler, and just like, okay, I understand. There's a lot of different rules, lots of things that, because before I've gone, I've booked this, I'm going to have to learn rules of the road in Orlando and know what I'm doing. It was like,
there are no rules, man. There are no rules.
A lot of people think that, John. But no, it was a weird experience getting off the plane and going, we've got to go and pick up the car, and not rushing to go and either get an Uber or to go and get like the Mears Connect on the Magical Express. So that was very different. And then getting lost, getting out of the airport.
Mark Whiting's comment, Yeah, it is very much guidelines.
Guidelines, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I'm flabbergasted. Every single time I've ever been there, right, I've seen something that's taken driving to a different level, right?
Totally.
And be that the fact that these things that you can have put your phone on the dashboard, right? and it's meant to be so that you can actually maybe maybe use Google Maps as your way forward and help you guide your way. No, people are watching TV on the i4 as you're driving into the parks. I'm going, good grief, you would get absolutely annihilated in this country for that. But hey, it is what it is.
It is a very different driving experience. And it's just,
but it's better.
At the beginning,
it's so much better.
It's a thing of being on the wrong side of the road, but then also I'm on the wrong side of the car. So in some weird way, that helps.
It does. Yeah.
And learning, we only got an automatic car in the UK this year, so understanding that and driving that has helped. Going, okay, I can just put my foot down and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't go. That's the
You've not driven a Tesla.
Drive a Tesla.
You've not driven a Tesla. You put your foot down, it goes.
Right. So my experience, the bigger the engine, the bigger the car. Bearing in mind, I tend to get an SUV because I'm and need to see.
Okay.
You put your foot down, and it's like, is anything going to happen?
You try to double.
This car is 3.5
and it doesn't work.
And nothing is happening. It's like, it's bizarre because here, I've got a car that's, you pick your foot down, it's responding. Yeah. But there, it's like, we'll just go slowly from the lights then.
Oh,
yeah.
It's weird.
I think driving in the Disney area is so much different to driving in other parts of Orlando.
Really?
It just,
In what way? Go on. I'm intrigued in that.
It felt from
everyone's going in the same direction. Parks.
Magic.
And then when you come out, everyone's going out of parks. It kind of becomes I can understand.
American big cars all.
Is it just the cars? Is that?
It really was just maybe it just felt everyone was just calmer, more relaxed. There was less undertaking, and all of this sort of thing. Which in the UK, being able to just not think about that was so much easier. It makes so much more sense. But the thing that tripped me up a few times, turning right on a red light.
I think in Disney there is a general acceptance on that Disney road system that actually the only people who know where they're going are the bus drivers.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
The bus driver.
We did follow some once when it's like the sat nav went, we're not sure. It went recalculating. It's like, that bus is going to Magic Kingdom. I'm following.
I think that's it's like some of the junctions in the Disney road system, like you can come off World Drive and you're turning right towards Disney Springs, and you're going to the Yacht and Beach Club, and you've got like 100 yards to cross 4 lanes of oncoming traffic to turn left at the lights. It's like you're having a laugh. There is no way. It's craziness.
The really confusing thing was our sat nav was in meters.
What was it?
Feet? Meters and feet, I think it was, rather than miles and yards like we have ours in the UK.
Confusing. So instead of
yards, so actually trying to work out. Okay, it's 200 meters. Well, how far away is that?
Yeah.
Oh no, we should have gone off at that
one.
And
then you look at the sat nav, it says just turn around. You do a U-turn like you do everywhere.
Yeah. That's the thing. U-turns in the UK, for anyone in America who doesn't realise, U-turns in the UK are not a thing.
No.
It is not something that we do at any particular moment at life.
I will say on the drive from the airport to the hotel, we did at least 2 U-turns.
I do at least
very
because of the wrong way.
Partly just for the fun of the fact that it's okay to do it. It's quite fun.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was.
John, you're a driving instructor.
Yeah.
U-turns are not a thing here, are they? It's really not something that we ever.
We're too polite. But also, we realise that if you're going to do a U-turn, no one's going to stop and let you do the turn. No. They're just going to plough into the side of you. So, it is definitely something that is just a non-do thing.
Mark Jones asked an interesting
quite
question.
Polite. Go around
that is actually, Mark, that is exactly how I would deal with it, because it becomes really funny if you miss a junction or you miss, we should have been going there. I'm the type of person who would drive another 3 or 4 miles up the road just to see if there's an alternative way.
Oh yeah, totally.
And also the fact that the rest of the family are sitting in the car, and you can sense the blood pressure rising.
It's the wrong way.
He's got a crack in a minute, and I'm like, no, it's fine. There might be something further up.
Karen said it. Drive to the next roundabout. That's exactly.
I did this the other day.
Lovely.
I went off at the wrong turning.
Yeah.
So I had to go 2-3 miles down the road until my sat nav told me there was somewhere that I could turn around and go.
I think it's just the road layout. The road layout.
Yeah.
They're much wider, aren't they? They're multi-lane, much wider, more scope for actually a turning circle of a car.
But there's also I actually feel that the sat nav mapping for Florida isn't exactly on point, because certainly in some cars I've had where it's got a built-in one, and I've got a very, very old Garmin map. The bit as you're coming down from Universal and you get to, I think it was the old bit where is it Crossroads? Where there was
where you go up the side of Sand Lake, and it's
and you kind of come off the I-4, and then there's a set of traffic lights. It stacks back.
It's horrendous.
Right? Yeah. But if you actually rely on the sat nav, right, you would be beyond that junction before the sat nav actually comes in with the fact that you need to turn right here. And you're like, oh my word, no, we've missed it. And then you go down World Drive and you're trying to cut through everywhere. And it's just like, no, come down from Universal, stay on the right-hand side. And no, when there's a queue of traffic, you need to be in that queue of traffic, because they're all waiting for them lights to change. So that and the lights take an absolute eternity. It's
one lane from the right.
Yeah.
Mark is right. Google Maps has a perverse sense of humour.
That is exactly it.
Like it does it on purpose.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't use Google Maps for exactly that reason. I tend to use what do I use? Waze? I use Waze.
Yeah. I tend not to use them simply because of the fact that my phone absolutely drains my data coverage when I'm in the States. So I can only use my phone when I'm on Wi-Fi, which isn't a good thing. But we've had cars that have been just the most. When you get in a hire car, and it comes up with a strange name.
Hello, Miguel.
It's not, but it's not Tom. It's not a TomTom sat nav. It's not a record, not a Garmin one. And you're thinking, oh, there's a trust element to begin with, isn't there, when it comes to sat nav? And like you said, Claire, I'm a driving instructor, so I actually take great delight in telling people I'm teaching to drive. Is the fact that guy. And it's usually, forgive them, but it's usually truck drivers. That guy is following the sat nav, and we're going down a road which is only suitable for like one car. And you're thinking, it's not a good feeling. And I'm trying to say, right, just pull into the side and let the truck do whatever they're doing, because we're not going to win that. We're not winning that fight,
And that's the biggest thing for. When we arrived there, it was like, yes, it was 9-hour flight, long travel day. You get to your car, because we had the issue where we landed at C, but the car was at A, Terminal A. So we had to get the sort of monorail across. So finally found the car. And then it was like, how do you get into it?
It's open.
It is. But if you Google a Tesla, luckily I knew how to open it. There's door handles, but you have to it's a different way of opening. Yeah. And then you're presented with this. What does this do?
You decided to get a Tesla.
I am so glad I did.
So we spent about half an hour sitting in the car park while he worked out the controls.
Yeah,
I'd say I'm going to applaud both of you for that. That is the way to do it, though, because most people would get in
and then worry about it.
No, get out and then think, oh, well, what does this bit do?
How do I move the
driving
mirrors?
and then start
Yeah.
pressing things.
Everything
That
if
is-
you hire a Tesla, everything's done on that screen, so you can adjust the mirrors. You can do everything on the
Yeah.
screen. You do it, and it adjusts everything. And I have to admit, one thing I really like about it is when you indicate, all the cameras on the side come up, so
Oh,
you
that's
don't
cool.
have
I
to.
love that.
So you don't have to even look in the mirror because the camera it shows you
Which is a bit
everything in the
lazy.
mirror on there,
Yeah.
which is really weird. And I
In
know
fact,
John from
I've got.
John's not listening.
John's not listening.
Indicators. Do you
I
mean
spend-
blinkers?
I spend
Oh.
my day nagging people
signals.
about mirrors. Yeah, it's mirrors,
Turn
mirrors, mirror,
Turn
Mirror
signals.
signaling.
mirror,
Yeah.
mirror.
Mirror. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
it's,
mirror
uh,
at Netflix.
Crashing to the car in front.
It's fine. But yeah, no, it was an
Oh.
interesting experience getting out of Orlando Airport, and I'd recommend spending the time acclimatizing yourself to the car.
Yep.
Regardless of how tired you are, and you just want to get to your hotel.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's worth it, and it was really good. And we finally set off about 9:30 in the evening.
And we did get lost, but part of that was because Ben had studied the map from Terminal C rather than Terminal A.
So when it took me off and the sat nav was taking me a different route, it's like my brain was going, "Well, I'm supposed to go this way."
Take
And
you
I was like,
south route. Did it take you on the expressway?
Oh,
in the end, it did because at
There is
first it was going to
nothing
take us towards the
express about that
I-4,
road.
and then
Yeah.
it was like, but because where I'd gone around MCO the wrong way, it then said, "No, you're going this way now because that's quicker to your hotel."
yeah.
So it took us back down to the.
I don't know where it took
417.
us. It was dark.
But the
Dark.
problem is, there was roadworks, construction everywhere,
Mhm.
and it was like,
Yeah. So you mentioned turning. I'm just seeing that the comments here that Teslas are more confusing. Charlie, I love your comment about Everton, but I dare not mention it in front of John. And I think there's some comments about roundabouts. We'll come back to roundabouts, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But Ben, you mentioned turning right on a red.
yeah, that was
That's-
interesting.
That's
It
slightly
yeah.
nerve-wracking, isn't it? 'Cause it's-
it
Yeah,
was,
no
especially when
time.
you've got a car behind you, and it's like,
Yeah,
and
and then- yeah.
do this, and
Yeah.
not.
yeah.
But they didn't. No, one time I did, and I waited. It was like I wasn't sure, and they were impatient. I think they were probably British as well.
Well, this is
but
the thing. In the UK, we would have got beeped.
yeah, that's
They're
true.
not moving.
Not moved. Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe
In the US, there were cars behind us a couple of times when we were kind of hesitating, hovering. Do we go?
Yeah.
Do we not?
And there was no.
And no one beeped. Everyone was just
They waited.
patient.
I think there's an exception
then-
in that area that
You're on
people
holiday.
are
Everyone's
people
traveling, and it's
tourists. Carrie makes an interesting point.
That is
You
true.
Yes.
have to stop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
for me, there is something weird about the stop system. So
Oh, well, you have to stop at every
Yeah,
stop. You slow
like
down,
the-
stop.
the stop
proper
thing,
stop.
not
Mhm.
just to slow down, make sure nothing's
No,
coming.
it is a total
Keep
stop. Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
come to a grinding halt. Number one, that
Yeah.
increases your fuel consumption, so we're just polluting a bit more. But number two, why? Well, if there's nothing on the road, why do I have to stop? I find it bizarre.
Because we're so used to a give way. I know they have a
Right,
yield.
so that's the
but
difference. We
it's-
have a give way system where you
Yeah.
can see and you move if it's safe to do so. But
Yeah.
it's what do you think, John, about the stop thing? Because it's really
I can see the point because actually, when you particularly on that turn on right now, there's two ways of looking at it because you actually, as you approach some junctions, you have some of them that it is in either in the traffic lights above or as you approach it says no turn on right.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to make
You
that
have to stop anyway.
perfectly clear. When you get to a set of lights and you've got that complete bit where you can turn right, I think actually you must make sure that it's 100% safe because in some cases, and obviously it won't be anybody who watches this show, but there are people who will not have actually recognised that the other light is actually on green or red or whatever, and they would just be speeding down the highway because they actually think that's the thing to do.
Yeah.
And that stop sign, I think, is more of a legal thing.
Okay.
So that if you're joining another road, you've actually made the effort to actually look. And I think that whole thing about just keeping it rolling,
Yeah.
in a place that maybe a lot of us are not particularly familiar with it's actually a really good way of doing it. I actually describe to some people that I teach that at times, particularly when you're at a closed junction and you can't see exactly what's happening right or left, it might as well be a stop line in this country, but loads of people just keep moving and keep creeping forward, and actually they create a hazard for themselves.
Yeah.
And when they do get a driving test, for some people that becomes, for me, it becomes an issue for them, because they think it's clear and actually it isn't clear coming the other way, because they're so used to thinking, oh well, I'm free to go. And it's trying to take that gamble bit out of it. And I know I'm making a big thing out, but
no. I asked the question.
It actually is. It is there to keep you safe, but also probably to lay the blame on you if something happens as well. So, it works. It works on two bits.
I was so surprised how familiar the roads felt, even though I'd never driven there before.
Yeah.
From just being there so many times, that actually getting Ubers, getting lifts, even just Disney transportation, it's like I know where I am, and after a couple of days, it's like okay, it all become familiar.
Mm-hmm.
I think we often take. I know we often play the British role and things like that, and it's like it is a completely different driving experience, but it's actually a much more pleasurable one, because in some respects, what you see is what you get.
Yeah. So
it becomes quite intuitive. Whereas you go to other foreign countries, France and Spain in particular, are very it's basically survival of the fastest and the one who has biggest car. I think there's no rules. And
you're talking about Claire?
No, but it's a sign. It's not intuitive, and actually in America, it's much more intuitive, even more so than the UK as well. And so you actually feel as if you've got space to make. You've actually got space to make a mistake, because the lanes are wider as well.
That's what I was going to say. I think that one of the things that I notice every time is, number one, the lanes are broader, and also the parking spaces are sufficiently large. Yeah. As someone who drives a big car here, I'm like, I can't park in this car park. There's no space. Yeah. And I think that having lanes that are big enough for massive trucks, even in a local area, so around the Orlando area, the Kissimmee area, the area that we all drive in, having roads that are wide enough for any car or a truck or a school bus or whatever it looks like, makes a massive difference in terms of visibility, in terms of time, and how safe you feel. I would be really interested to see how some of our American friends would fare coming over here and driving on our country lanes, which are slightly bigger than one car, but are two-way traffic and blind corners around the side of a field,
and you see a horse coming the other way.
I hate it.
Right. And also, I had that conversation. I remember having a conversation with Jason a couple of years ago when we were planning our trip we were looking at going to San Francisco and driving down to LA. And he said, you should take the Pacific Coast Highway. And I was like, oh, okay. And I know that I had planned to get an SUV, and I stupidly thought, because you see these pictures of the road and it's like coasting around the coast and it's like on the edge and it looks ever so lovely. And I said, I'm just a bit worried about, is the road big enough for a big car? I want to get. And he was like, of course it is, don't be so stupid. And I was like, I don't know, because it looks like a bit like one of our country lanes, but it's not. It's a massive great big thing. It's not like a Kentish lane that I could just about get my car down and try not to scrape the side of it with bushes. I'd love to
carry that epitomizes the whole thing. The York to Scarborough Road is the
it's crazy.
One of the worst roads in the world, for the fact that it should be a dual carriageway highway, and yet at times we're just like, you get two trucks going beside each other. I take my hat off to some of the truck drivers, because it is scary stuff, and you actually end up you end up sort of as you're driving going, phew, made it. That's it.
It feels like you need that.
Hold on.
You feel like that. You need the night bus moment where you could like breathe in.
Your
car just shrink inside, and I might get through. Colton, nice to see you briefly. Do watch on the catch up with
Ben and Becca, I'm very aware, before we move off the Tesla comment, right?
Yeah.
Now, since I started the whole show, that nobody in the chat, I'm gutted, nobody picked up on the Springsteen reference in the intro, right? There you go.
No.
Is that what it was?
It's taken me years to get a bit of Springsteen into the show, yeah. So I'm going to do another little musical bit, because all throughout their time away, I kept sending the OMD song, Tesla Girls, because actually, if you're in Tesla, you've got to keep singing Tesla Girls on a daily basis.
I hooked my phone up and listened to Queen.
No.
Good choice.
Bohemian Rhapsody, Don't Stop Me Now. That was it just felt the right thing to have.
Tesla Girls, I think that was the one for that.
And I think Queen should be the band that goes for Rock and Roller Coaster if it ever gets a review.
Oh,
Queen.
No.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
No, we need to get more modern. Goodness.
No.
How would you want modern?
Modern. Bit more modern.
Yeah. Harry, yes, I did. I don't know that song.
Yeah, she did.
But yeah, the Tesla I would happily have again. It was incredible, really easy to drive. What's weird about it is you have regenerative braking, so you can just drive with one pedal. So as soon as you lift off the accelerator, it brakes. The car. So
it's like driving in
conserves
Magic
energy.
Kingdom. It's like driving on the.
It's like driving a go-kart. The brakes. Literally, as soon as you do it,
without the smell,
it applies the brakes.
Oh no!
It's incredible. And if you ever get a chance to do it. It's really good.
Charging it was easy.
Yeah,
a
lot easier than what I thought, and an awful lot easier.
And probably easier than filling up with petrol when you have to lift the lever.
Yeah.
Lift before you fill. So you
and do all of that weird thing of like go and say, oh, how much do I want in this? $40. And then it's like, I don't know, how much
this is going to cost.
Am I going to get from here to Walmart, or am I going to drive all across the state? I don't know. At least with a Tesla, it tells me how many miles.
I only wanted to fill a quarter full, but it cost me. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That is weird.
And I have to admit, Hertz were really good. We did mess up because we didn't take a picture at the end of how much charge was left in it. So we did have to pay $35 recharge fee. But so if you pick it up, I think ours was 92%. We got it. If it was above 80, we wouldn't have got charged.
All right.
But we
it was above 80.
It was above 80. But we've got to take a picture in that mad rush when you drop it back off. But if it was anywhere between 10% and 80, there's a $35 standard charge that they will refill it for that. So it's not terrible,
bad.
And also takes the anxiety out of.
It is, but that's the bit really, really. I'm not going to use the word I was really thinking, because actually all the car hire firms do.
I'll tell you something funny.
Irrespective, they
didn't charge for our last time we charged up.
Okay, there you go.
So in the way I look at it wasn't terrible, but yeah.
So there's that bit about refill on the return, and I know I added it into the list of things to talk about, John. Do you take your car back full or empty? And the implications for that. And I think for me, there's something around when you return your car, whether it be a Tesla or a standard petrol vehicle. Yeah. And they say to you, they check it in and they do the bleep, bleep, bleep with the scanner gun, and they go, do you want your receipt? Yes, I do, because I need to see. I want to see that big zero. That says nothing at the bottom, right? Yes, I do. And I know that people sometimes worry about whether if they fill up in like Walt Disney World, when they get to the airport in Orlando, is it going to be enough? It's fine. The 30 miles that it takes is not going to drop it below what they find acceptable. You don't have to use the really expensive petrol stations near the airport. I've never done that. I've always filled up and then driven over. But I know it's always a hot topic because people, no, you have to fill up right, like next door to the terminal. No, you don't. It's fine.
In hindsight, I would have just taken a picture just because you never know what happens afterwards. If we're just taking those few seconds, just gone, take a picture of that. Done.
But Ben, you will do that next time, and that's that even for someone with a petrol car, it comes with experience. It comes with the fact that when you pick it up, I always take a picture right the way around the car, what it
The little
looks like
video.
before I get in.
Yeah.
I also
We did that.
Did that?
I
With
also
the whole
do-
video of everything that
Yeah.
was like where scratches or
I
dents
also
and-
do what you did is before you leave, make sure you know if it's a petrol car, you know how to open the petrol cap on it. Because you look a bit stupid when you go to actually put some petrol in and actually, okay, what button? I don't know what to do. You also, I think I got in a car one time that had the most bizarre braking system because it never had a handbrake, but it was basically a double push on the foot brake.
Oh yeah.
But you then had to release it. It took me a while to understand that, and so you allow yourself time and don't go go racing off from the car hire garage until you feel as if you're completely safe to do so. And you guys did a really good job of that. I'm actually really impressed that you did that because I probably wouldn't.
I probably wouldn't have either.
The thing is,
you have to.
Plenty of YouTube videos about how to do set up a Tesla, and I have to admit, it just felt nice just to like be in a car on the wrong side. Yeah, but on the wrong side, sitting on the wrong side, that was weird.
Did you worry about which way the pedals were? I saw someone mention that earlier, that they get in and work out whether the pedals are reversed as well.
Well, once I found out that I just had to work on one pedal, it was fine. It was good. You
can give your other one a rest. It's all good.
Yeah. No, I was so much so that I think it's gonna be a while before we have a trip without one, unless there's a specific thing happening on the trip.
Excellent.
So,
I was hoping you'd say that. Can I just pick up on a couple of points in the chat, because actually there is quite a lot of people who are giving advice. Carrie, thank you very much, because you were talking about don't touch the airport garages, but it's the same in this country. They basically think of a number, treble it, and then they actually do you for that. I would also say I have been guilty of a bring back empty. Now,
you've got to have. I was going to say something else. Nerves of steel.
We got halfway back to the airport, right? And we turned, and it was August, and we turned the aircon off because I was thinking it was complete. I actually felt as if we kept going at about.
You're just trying to roll it into MCO.
That's exactly
that's the thing.
There was no acceleration going on. We were at a constant speed, and it was just that whole thing. Is like I am getting to that airport.
I'm not
because I know we can actually get there, and I actually from that experience I've always gone the other way and just thought, do you know something, an extra $10 left in there, and I've paid sort of Orlando prices for the fuel. It's better than it's better. Yeah. Oh, Claire, I'll never forget the drive.
You think they're sweating with like the windows open. You're going, I'm not paying anymore.
No.
We're gonna miss the flight. We're not gonna get there.
Oh, 45 is perfectly fast enough to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that is another thing. Is the speed limits are very different to here.
Yeah,
they are,
and they
change. They change so quickly, but also the ramp. Speed, and then you've
tell
got
you
different.
What the new speed limit is.
It even changes so quickly, but then you go, okay, I'm on a different road where I've not seen a sign for a while. What speed is this? And it's like I'll keep up with the traffic,
right?
And which is also a dangerous game to play.
Yeah,
it really is.
Especially if you get behind. Just it
is on the road up from Miami. What you tend to find is because it's such a straight and boring and flat road, you basically just put the boot down and you keep going, and then you suddenly find you get about 2/3 of the way up, and you've got like traffic cops that are in like the middle of the road, and you're like, and you sort of you're left kind of scratching and thinking, so exactly
what speed am I meant to be doing?
What speed should I be doing? And you're thinking just sort of. And you get the nudge from beside you, like, how fast were you actually going as you went past him? Because
Not the right speed. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't the right speed.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think it's interesting, isn't it? It's just they do change, the speed limits change quite quickly. As Carrie said, quite often
really,
sat navs now will have the speed limit on it.
They do.
Really useful.
Tom-toms in particular do as well, and
Waze does too.
Yeah, unless the actual map itself has changed. Sorry, unless the road itself has changed since the last map update, you're usually okay with that, and you can trust it. But it's a bit of fun, It's just like
Can we talk about crazy junctions?
Okay.
And I've got two in my head. The first one, John, you will know what I'm talking about. Although it may not have been finished last time you were there, is the insane junction at Champions Gate onto the I4.
Oh, that's always been Claire. That is the most. Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What is that about? There is a moment where you're on the wrong side of the road. So once you cross over, you come from Champions Gate to join the I4, and you have to cross through the traffic, and you're driving on the wrong side of the road under a bridge. And it's like, hang on a minute. I feel like I'm at home for a minute, but I'm on the wrong side of the road. What is going on with that? I mean, I don't know who designed that junction. It is insane. And
someone from Britain, obviously.
I was talking to Jason and Zach about it. I was like, what is going on at Champions Gate? And they're like, and nobody understands why the junction is
it's wrong
in that way.
It's wrong. It's totally wrong. It's just
every time I drove it, I was like, what's going on? Really? Seriously, mate? What, And then the other junction that always confuses me, and I consider myself to be a reasonably good driver. I'm a confident driver, and I enjoy driving the four-way stop.
Oh, yeah.
The four-way stop.
I think we encountered them a couple of times, and it was like...
Who was watching whose turn it was? Because I wasn't, because I was concentrating on driving. I have no idea.
Everyone looks at everyone else and was like, off you go. I'm too polite. I'm British. There you go.
Right. You can all go on last. No, after you. No, please go ahead. It's going to take 25 minutes.
In the UK, we give way to the right. So it's...
But even then, it doesn't... It makes... I know it's whoever arrived first goes first, but there is no way of being confident that was you or wasn't you. And like you edge forward slightly, and then someone else goes, it wasn't me.
But then someone else just edges for everyone. The worst thing is when you've got two or three and they all edge forward at the same time.
I have no idea who it is next.
It's like a gunfight, isn't it? A gunfight.
I did it once.
Whoever goes first wins the gunfight.
The number of times I have wheel spun at a four-way stop because I decided it must be my go, so I'm going to go, and I'm going to go really quickly.
Just make sure you take your Tesla out of chill mode.
There's a chill mode.
Chill mode is relaxed.
I think that's the UK version of Eco.
Yeah.
Ben, you're not selling it to me and Claire there. Like, what's the
you need something that's responsive, which is, as we discussed previously, is sometimes a bit of a challenge.
I'm just imagining, Claire, you like this big vehicle. It's like you put your foot down. It's like this isn't going well.
It's a bit like you put your foot down, and you know that like elevator music, ding, 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 ding.
It's like you're on hold.
Come on! Yeah, it's my turn, and I can't go. I'm loving the comments in the chat about it.
I'm just
always stop. That's usually me. I'm too polite to do it initially, and then I get annoyed. Harry's like, it's who arrived first, but then the left yields to the right. That's confused me. But we are typically kind of waved to people to go as a courtesy. Right? So what I'm getting from this is nobody understands whose turn it is next.
It's me.
Like, just go.
I'm there. I'm there.
For a disaster.
No one else is moving. I'm going. That's it.
It does. If you hesitate, you lose in that situation.
And that's
there's one at Formosa Gardens that I've done many times, which is the turn off at Formosa Gardens, and we're heading down towards Indian Creek, where often we stay. And that four-way stop, it's with Foodie Steed Road. It's often quite busy, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. Which if you go in one lane, then the lane disappears when you get on the other side of the junction, which isn't helpful. And it's like, you know the one I mean. It's just like, who is brave enough?
I was here first. There we go. I was just like, thank you.
I should be like waving, and it's my turn.
Thank you. I'm British. There we go.
So over here, that junction would be, and actually most four-way stops would be replaced by a roundabout, because that makes it really very
easier
clear to us.
Yeah.
Maybe not for you, but you know.
We
You're not going to hit someone face on. You're going to actually. I know
we can't put Mark Jones's comment up on the screen, but actually, Mark Jones is who has the largest thing.
That's what I said. Who's got
exactly it, and that's and it's the same with all forms of driving. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It is survival, survival of the fittest, and survival of those who actually. Yeah, I'm going now. And I'm not going to second guess it. And
I thought it was just me being a bit pathetic. Clearly,
no,
I'm not you
have to, because otherwise you feel really stupid if you sat there for you can sit there for 10 minutes and you're just like.
And I'm conscious like the person behind me must be going, "Why aren't they going? It's clearly their turn." Well, no, it's another 4 people. I have no idea where I am in the. It's like waiting on a hold. You are in position number 16. Okay, I'll wait. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, you get there and it's like there's cars behind those cars at the four-way. Junction. It's like, okay, wait,
are they behind?
That car looks similar to the one that was there, but is it them or not?
They're both black, but I don't know who's gone.
The thing is, there are things on our roads in the UK that confuse us. They're also
right.
The same. It's just you just go along with it. And the freedom it gave us, just being able to just get to a park for early park entry. And actually not have to think, oh, we need to get an Uber to get there, or we need to make sure we've got. Hopefully, the buses are running for that time. We turned up at Magic Kingdom at 7 a.m.
What, at the TTC or actually?
No, at TTC at 7 a.m. We were on the second boat across.
And they still charge you for parking.
But they didn't charge you as much as they charged the person who was in the premium parking, who parked probably next door to you. Right, there are some pleasures in this when you get there early and you are closer than the premium parking at $50.
But you don't get the bottle of water.
It was still dark.
It was still dark, and it was incredible.
But then you get to be on the boat as the sun's coming up.
Sunrise wasn't until we got into the Magic Kingdom.
Wow.
They'd opened up for early morning.
7 a.m. Are you sure you weren't there at like 5 a.m?
5:30, isn't it?
No, 7 a.m. This is October.
So. Okay. Anna and I got an early morning at Magic Kingdom next week.
It'll be dark. It's like 8
o'clock. It'll be dark.
Oh, wonderful! But that makes it so unique as well, because if you're used to going at certain times of year, and you actually experience that in the morning, it is so the smells and the sounds are different than when you're there and it's dark in the summer. I'm trying not to give you a bit of a spoiler, but the actual smell is different, Claire, and the music's different, and the whole feeling's different. It's absolutely beautiful.
It might
headlight.
Your friend should have one.
Get one of them Petzl head torches that you'll be sorting.
I wish they should sell Mickey ears with like lights in them, like torches in them. Or I could get some crop light.
All you need them some like the glow with the show ears.
Yeah, we've got some of them. I'll send them.
And if you get your magic band that lights up when something happens,
and you'll be able to get Ben's Christmas hat. That's still alive.
I'll nip round this week and pick it up then.
You're more than welcome to keep it.
I was reading Mark Jones's comment about roundabouts and saying that people treat them as four-way stops.
Yeah.
But my experience of that, I've only found a couple of roundabouts in Orlando. One of them is up towards Windermere near Kiki's when we went for breakfast there.
Yeah.
And there weren't many cars around, but what I've noticed is people sort of slow down on the roundabout to let people join the roundabout,
which really confuses.
opposite to what should happen from my learning.
That's
is
not
that
what.
the people
That's not what they're for. You're
people
supposed
who
to
have
keep
right
people
of
on the
way are
roundabout.
Not what
well,
we did.
you give way to the people who are already on the roundabout.
Yeah.
For here, you'd be travelling from the left. In there, you'd be travelling from the right.
To the right.
So you would give way to the person who's already there, rather than people who, if you're travelling round the roundabout, you keep going. You don't need to stop to let anyone join, which seems to be what happens. It may just be a general confusion thing about a roundabout, but
I think it is.
I think
we found this one
confused.
when we were going towards the charge up of the car, and it would just
Near
drive down.
celebration.
Yeah. But it's a food place, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
Tesla charger, and it was like there's this like you get. It's like it was Panera Bread. And it was like you would go past it, and it was like,
I know what you
oh,
mean.
there's a roundabout,
A roundabout.
Yeah.
and it's just like,
oh, that person obviously doesn't know how to use one.
yeah.
I think that's the thing. They're so infrequent, aren't they? Particularly in that area. I know I think Carrie mentioned they're growing in popularity in terms of road planning.
Hopefully, they can use them properly then.
I guess it's something we're used to. Like everyone there's used to four-way stops and turning right on red and all of that. We're used to some of the other rules that we have over here, I guess. So,
yeah, that's true.
Like John, I know that you mentioned like the school bus rules.
Yeah,
that's not something that happens over here.
Yeah, we never come across a school bus, luckily.
Thankfully.
Yeah,
that's because you're in Magic Kingdom at 7 a.m.
That's actually a really good thing, and I've got to say, if you go in August, right, what you experience is as you get further into schools going back, you see the school buses coming out with no kids on them because the drivers are being trained as to where they need to stop and they need to go through this whole thing. It's basically don't go anywhere. Once that school bus stops and they put that little thing out the side of there, just let everything happen in front of you and don't even think about it, because actually I think that's one of the things that they're really hot on, particularly with police and things like that, where you will actually get yourself caught very easily. And it's just always stop, let them sort themselves out, and then when the bus goes, you can go again. It is absolutely essential. It's the same. It's just like getting yourself an Esther before you get into the US. You must do it. If you don't, you're in trouble, and you will get a ticket. It just becomes one of those things. I just thought we need to flag that up as well as the other one. I'm not sure if Carrie mentioned it earlier as well in the chat, but also the tolls. Just from a point of view of peace of mind, and if you get the chance of getting a sun pass, it does cost per week, etc. But you know something, it makes things so much better than having to stop at every toll.
Do you know what?
I wish we did the visitor toll path. We didn't because we knew we were picking up from sea, and we thought, we'll pay the charge, whatever it is, and then we're not going through many tolls and whatever it costs, It didn't cost us that much.
Yeah.
But I wish we got the visitor toll pass.
Mostly,
so that's a flat rate, and actually, I would say that.
And it's actually cheaper. The way they work it out is the same price you would pay as if you were paying.
Right. And I know that for anyone who hasn't seen those, Theme Park Baza has got a brilliant video about visitor toll pass, and you can pick one up at the airport. Yeah. I have decided in the last few trips when I've been driving that actually I just allow the car hire company to bill me for the tolls afterwards. Yeah.
It's miles.
I just go through the sun pass lane, send me the bill. I'm not even going to notice it when it comes off my card later on down the road. And
I think we paid $30 in total.
Right, and I think
6 or 7 we went through.
Yeah,
I cannot bear the whole pulling off, finding the change, someone to give you all of that.
I have to admit that would have thrown me completely on that first drive. From there, knowing that I've got to think about going off to pay for this. And it might give me a breather, but actually, I was just wanting to get some hotel.
Yeah. I think the thing with the car hire companies is once you go through your first one, it automatically lights up your sun pass with them, and they will. Yeah,
Then they
Yeah,
have
so it's the
third party passes it through.
they'll charge you a little bit extra and things like that. But
It's not
I tell you,
used
I tell you
a
what,
company called Plate Pass.
yeah,
Yeah.
And with that, it was $9.99 a day.
Maximum.
Maximum.
If you
For
didn't
the
spend
24
that, then-
hours. For the
yeah.
24 hours you used it. So we used it on the
And
first day, last day.
But
and
some
one
of
other
them,
day.
work
And-
differently, Ben. So some of them will charge you per toll plus like 10%. So
Yeah.
actually, if you, it might only,
or you've
Yeah.
got a limit.
a
It's
top,
where-
a capped
there's
rate.
a limit
Yeah.
of how
Yeah.
much you can actually pay per month. So if
Yeah.
you've got a 3 or a 4 week car hire, it really does. It actually pays to just read into who you're hiring your car from the
Definitely,
UK.
that's slightly
But
different.
it is not a problem. It's not a reason not to drive.
And also, don't accept. They will try and sell you the toll pass at the desk if you're picking up your car. Are you going to use tolls? Do you want to pay for the tolls up front? It's going to cost you $15 a day. We can pay for it in there. No, because I'm never going to go through that many tolls. Unless all I'm doing is driving round.
Yeah.
We never had the sell up like, oh, you must upgrade this.
You were
or this.
driving a Tesla, of course they won't try and upsell.
But but on anything.
Would you like to swap from your very high tech, very geeky
But on anything
and
anything extra tolls and anything extra they wanted to do, they literally said, and we went up because we used the Hertz Gold member.
Yeah,
they registered online, said we're preferred, and then they don't do all of that, and all you do
you just go to the garage.
You just go to the garage.
It makes such a difference. I think the one thing for anyone who thinks that I'm never going to go through a toll, when you get out of the airport and you head towards Orlando, I think it's the expressway that you're on, and you're actually past the runoff for the toll booth before you even see it, and at that point you think, I've made a mistake, and I've done it because I thought, oh, we're only there for a few days. And actually, you come around and you think, well, there you go. I'm just going to have to take the hit. It's not a problem. And actually, people use it as an excuse not to hire a car. And from my perspective, that shouldn't be an excuse. If I think, when we talk about making T-shirts, right? We should have one with a big car on it. If Ben can hire a car, anyone can. Because you guys are.
Like, what do you think of my driving, John?
I don't know. I've never seen you drive, but you've put it off so much. I actually think it's been Claire and I's sort of bad influence in a way that's kind of forced you into that.
How very dare you, John?
I will tell you what. It's the money. It was. This
Claire,
is
we're a bad influence.
Excellent.
It was the value for money.
Yeah,
it was like £265. Everything cost us less than £300. Which would cost us probably about the same amount in Ubers. Yeah. But the amount of times we got to the park, we got to leave the park middle of the day if we wanted to.
That's it. It does give you that
freedom. All that freedom,
it made
flexibility.
The supermarket trip so easy.
We filled up. We could have filled up the car so much more.
It was
interestingly
today much less hassle.
Today I was looking. So I've been putting in the API on our flight for next week, and it offered me car hire. And I haven't told Anna this. I was looking at it going, shall I just do it? Shall I just get a car? We've got the equivalent of the Magical Express books, but I was like, shall I just do the car hire? Because then we can do what we want to do. Right, I know, John. I was like, it's so tempting. We're only there 6 days, and it's
it's weird because of our trip next year is quite disjointed because we've got a couple of nights at Disney, then we've got 7-night cruise, and then we've got 6 nights at Disney afterwards. It's like, okay, we're not going to get a car to begin with because otherwise we're going to just have to drive to Port Canaveral and then pay for parking, and then it's just
that is one thing that is just a non-starter because you don't want to be paying for a car that's sat there.
Doing nothing.
And what's really annoying, I found a really good fly drive deal earlier on Virgin Holidays. So it was like for the whole trip. It's like if someone wants to look after a Tesla for 7 nights, in the chat, that would be amazing. But it's one of those things. It's just because it's parking and having a charged car, but then it's also
you want to get off the cruise and have a dead.
There is superchargers there, but it's just that hassle of like, actually, I just get off a ship. I just like Disney just drop us back at our hotel, and then we can go to the Disney Car Care Centre.
Just pick a car.
Or
that's a much better plan.
Or if not, we'll go to the airport from there and then do.
Can you not pick one up at Port Canaveral?
They don't have Teslas, the ones that I want.
Okay.
I heard.
Well, look, he's been spoiled now.
Yeah.
I'll get
I'd be
a car
happy with it.
but I'll
I'd be
only
happy with
get
a
a Tesla.
convertible.
Look at
Yeah.
those
I'll only
nice
get a
cars.
Tesla.
Yeah. I enjoy driving
Really?
it, and that's my treat. So.
And do you know something, Ben? I'm right with you on that, because actually I get to drive cars in the United States that are miles way too big than I could ever dream to drive in this country. And do you know something?
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I love
Right.
it. I love the fact that
Well,
I
maybe we'll get a convertible we've always thought about.
Yeah, I'd like the
Oh.
convertible.
I've had a Suburban a couple of times, and that is
It won't be an
just like-
electric,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
I'd like
It's
a
great.
convertible.
Nothing's arguing with you on the road at all.
Yeah.
You literally just drive over the top of everything.
Oh, Claire, they
Right.
are the most amazing.
The first time we had one, we literally walked up. I was probably like eye level with the hubcaps.
Yeah.
Walking after
Did
me,
you
like,
have to get a ladder to get in?
I'm
They're
so grateful
They're
for the
not.
steps.
They are, though.
Because
They are
literally, I was there,
amazing.
Morgan was like, seriously, is this our car? I was like, yes.
Yeah.
This thing was
Yeah.
so enormous. I was like, this is awesome. I was like climbing up a step ladder. In I got, and it's like,
But it's the reaction of the kids when you actually get into a car like that.
This is
Right?
cute.
And it's got the amount of built-in extras, with the little bits in the roof with the air con. So, and the kids are like, can we get one of these at home? I go,
yeah, we
You're
can, but it's
right.
not going to go anywhere.
You're
I
right.
had that
Drive
with
it.
the
Laugh.
fully grown adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are amazing. I've got to say, we have had some absolute dream cars to actually drive, and that's the reason, Ben. I know we kind of take the mick a little bit, but actually that's why we love having a hire car.
It just
Because
gives you a chance to try something different, something you wanted to drive that I know I can't drive at home.
Yeah.
Oh, Carrie, that's an interesting comment. Are there any cars that you would suspect are not tourists?
Oh.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we know
right.
what
If anyone's
design,
listening
so
to
we're not going
podcast-
to get broken
yeah,
into.
Yeah.
Harry's just mentioned if she sees an iDrive area and a convertible, that equals
tourist. That's
Are
a
there
really
any-
good point.
Are there any makes of cars? I think Honda Accord seems to be a favourite of people that I
I
know.
like a
who live there.
Honda.
I know a few friends out there have got Teslas, but I don't know whether they've become.
I'm
more
interested
common.
if there are any cars particularly that make
Let's
you
stick
think
out.
they're more likely to be locals than
Yeah.
tourists.
It is really interesting to see the different types of cars you get out there that look like they should belong on the design studio and test track.
Yeah, the old test track version.
Yeah.
The crash test dummy style. Yeah.
Well, this is the car you don't want to get for your hire car.
Yeah.
That's a high car from Liverpool Airport.
Before we
Yeah.
talk-
The wheels
Um,
gone.
a couple of things I want to mention about the Tesla was actually the boot space or trunk. So we got our two big suitcases,
suitcases
and
like
then there
that.
was more room
Yeah.
there. But also they've got something called a frunk.
Yeah, because
Beg your pardon?
there's no engine in it.
Oh, it's
so
like
you-
a VW Beetle.
Yeah.
So it's like you've got room for like a backpack at the front.
Yeah.
Yeah. For people as old as me, back in the day, as Claire said, the VW Beetle was the forerunner in that because they had the engine in
at the back.
Back.
Yeah.
And
Just,
actually,
the Badger, which had the open back engine.
yeah.
My first boyfriend had a VW Beetle, and he used to be able to stash his trombone in the front.
Oh no, Claire, you can't say that. Oh no, that is brilliant.
Hoping that wasn't a euphemism.
That's so well.
Oh,
I haven't said anything.
There was one element of the show. There was something you said earlier in the show, right? I actually think it's on our bloopers thing for our 100th show, right?
Oh.
And you said exactly the same thing, right? And I actually completely deadpanned it, right? Because I've actually got better at this sort of thing. Believe it or believe it not, I have got better. But that, Claire, I can't possibly let go. No, just like I'm
not be allowed to do this.
when we finish this, I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch that complete clip again because that is absolutely comedic genius. I'm very sorry to say that is the best.
God.
If anyone's watching, right, I'm trying to keep it here. If anyone's watching, right, who doesn't quite understand that, right, be thankful.
I can be intentional with comments, but that was completely.
Brilliant. That was so good.
Oh dear. I did so well.
Oh dear. That's all right. We talked about cars and trombones. That's fine. We're sorted.
Right. That's all it was.
Boys and their
Exactly.
toys, isn't it?
And so it
That doesn't help,
basically,
Becca.
but it basically
I
shows
wasn't meant to.
the Beetle had a rather impressive. What do you call it on the Tesla? Ben, was it a frunk?
Frunk.
Yeah, Frank.
A
That
frunk.
sounds wrong.
Instead of trunk, it's the front trunk.
Okay.
Still sounds terrible.
It does sound wrong. But
Yeah.
the thing is, the Ted was silent. The Beetle had the delicate sound of thunder coming with it, so that
Yeah, you could hear it from miles away.
yeah, definitely.
Cracking car. Yeah, Anna, I'm with you. I'm dying as well. I must admit. Joe, something. I was actually. I think we're in the midst in the UK. I'm going off that tangent, right? We're in the midst in the UK of watching complete no marks on the TV, creating what is so-called entertainment, right? I'm not sure. Claire and Anna's trip to Walt Disney World, right? I would love a live feed, 24 hours, because I think it would be the biggest giggle ever. I really would.
I'm a waffler. Get me out of here.
Yeah, it would be so much better than the absolute
junk that's on TV there
that we watch on the TV, and it's all supposedly celebrity led. I'm like, nah. There we go. Maybe we can. Yeah, we'll have a series of that. I'll get in touch with the BBC, see if they'll sign us up.
Carrie just wanted to add a comment about the toll pass. Now there are express lanes on the I-40 if you're nervous or a first timer.
You can use them as it removes you from the heavy congestion.
Yeah.
But know where the exits are, so they're limited. That's really helpful.
That is true.
Thank you for getting us back on track, Carrie.
We used them accidentally. Because we
found yourself in the wrong lane.
Yeah, we were so close to the outlet, we could see where we were going, and it was like the sat nav said first left, so it's like must
we'll take the next
and it was like,
left.
oh, you're joining the I4.
We went the second left.
So it took us another 20 minutes to go back to then come back along.
In the UK, the sat nav will say go straight to the next light.
Then
turn light and then turn left. This one just went go left.
Actually, Carrie, I'm going to pick you up on that because actually that's such an amazing additional bit of detail, because actually from my experience, you get the sections because as you're coming out of Miami, it's the same thing, and it's like 50 cents or 75 cents. Yeah. And you get people like me who'll just sit with every other American person on the main highway, and you see this bit just to your left, and nobody uses it. And actually, just go and pay it. Go and pay the extra. Yeah. It's only going to cost you a couple of dollars more. It'll save you about half an hour on the road, and it's such a good thing. The I-4,
people are happy to spend $6.50 on a drink in the Magic Kingdom. That covers your tolls. Scrap one bottle of water for your trip. That covers your toll.
Yeah. Well, that accidental toll trip cost us how much?
$1.
Yeah.
Plus the $10 plate pass charged.
You're not even getting Disney for that.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think we need to, we always need to get that bit sort of back in our own minds, because you always say, "Oh, I'm going to save. I'll save a bit of money this," but actually, it doesn't save you anything because it costs you twice.
It costs you time.
Yeah, you're right.
And you're on holiday for 2 weeks, or maybe even less. It's time is money. You just have to work out. Actually, would I rather sit in traffic for another half an hour, or actually get there before everyone else and get to the shops?
Yeah. Yeah, I think as well. I'll put a little bit in here because actually I was in Spain earlier this year, and for someone who has I don't know why I've got a reputation for being tight, right? But the
Is it
Spanish,
from up north, John?
it is, yeah. But the Spanish won't use the toll road between Malaga down to Fuengirola. I do. It only cost me about €5, but hey, it saved me about 40 minutes sitting in traffic and it's at traffic lights.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same mantra. And if
M6 toll.
M6 toll, yeah.
I won't use the M6 toll.
Really?
No,
I totally will.
I did by accident, and it was really useful.
My goodness.
Because I'm tight.
Yeah. Oh, it's all contextualized. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It is.
When you're at home, you don't want to do it, but when you're away, it's okay.
Yeah, because you pay thousands of pounds, thousands of
Yeah.
dollars on a holiday, and
What's an extra $10 on tolls for a week or two?
yeah, it's absolutely nothing. You know, it's all there.
I just want to go back now and drive out there again.
So
Well, I might drive next time we go.
yeah.
Hold on to your hats.
I
No.
know.
Just let me know when you're going, yeah?
In fact, hang on. We've got series 1 with Claire and Anna, right? Series 1 with Claire and Anna live streaming. You're that car sharing.
You want my driving?
Car
It's
sharing.
Okay.
Yeah, but with Ben and Becca, and I want the whole conversation as Becca's driving and Ben's driving from the passenger seat.
Right. Sounds great.
It's okay. We'll have the Tesla and we'll enable auto drive.
Oh,
Becca will ignore it.
where's the fun in that?
Right,
She
yeah.
doesn't like
fun
the
in
car
that?
being into control.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
If I can do it, anyone can do it. As John said.
Yeah. But it's so. I'm
disappointed in myself that it took this long to
Yeah. I think as well. I think that for me, Ben, is such a big thing, and I know we've been going like 4.5 years, but
This show feels like it.
it feels like it. Yeah.
It'll be just like Top Gear with Ben and Becca.
Except we're not nearly as knowledgeable about cars.
Yeah.
We should
that'd be
do,
good.
We
it's
should do.
so After Hours did that road to Marrakesh, didn't they? Where they got different routes, that Top Gear style challenge, where they took different routes to get to the Morocco Pavilion.
Yeah.
We could totally do something like that.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's so good.
Doing the swap back to UK driving pretty naturally when you get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel a bit strange. when
Literally
you're
5 minutes in, I'm
back in your
going,
car,
oh,
but
this isn't a Tesla.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing. The regenerative braking, it was like, oh, I've got to brake.
First thing I got when we got back, I hate this car.
Yeah.
it's a new car. You've only had it like 3
I know.
months.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's the higher car. The higher car becomes what you really want to.
But also, it's driving on Florida roads. It's driving to Disney. You're enjoying it more because you're on holiday. You're in that vacation mode where it's great.
Yeah.
I'm back in the UK and it's chucking down with rain.
Yeah.
And you've got to deal with the M25.
And you're not looking for the aircon button. You're looking for
Heater.
turn the heater up. How do you turn the heater up?
Yeah, I'm getting my phone out to make sure my heating's on at home.
I'm just reading Carrie's comment about passing on the right. So I must
So
just
was
be.
I.
I must have assumed that was wrong. So I assumed that you could pass in any lane. That's
No.
what my understanding was.
No, you
I thought
can't.
you could undertake an overtake.
Yeah.
No, the rules.
They're not they're not the locals, Carrie. It's me being a jerk driver.
It's actually the foreign tourists that have been told that you
We've
can
all been
overtake
told
and
that you
undertake.
It's the same rules as it is here. That you actually
it?
should. Yeah, but reverse round. So if you imagine,
It's
You
inside
overtake
and outside lane.
I thought you've got to be on the left-hand side to overtake, right?
I mean, I naturally do that anyway, but equally, if it's a bit quicker on the inside, I have been known to nip in and round, to be fair.
Yeah, but there's some
Particularly
people.
on the drive from Tampa to Orlando.
But there's some people, and this isn't good because I'm going to try and describe it with my hand. It's like they will zigzag one way, that way, and they will just.
But we have idiots who do that here as well. Yeah.
BMW drivers.
Yeah.
Don't get me started,
Don't even
Ben.
put
Don't get me started.
Mercedes drivers and BMW
Yeah.
drivers.
I am not.
Yeah.
No, because it's not. Actually, in this country, it's no longer BMW drivers that are the
Oh.
worst at it.
Oh, don't say it's Toyota.
No, it's not.
Oh, good.
Mercs.
Audi drivers know who they are.
It used to be the Merc drivers, and now it's they've gone down. They've gone down to Audi. Yeah. Audi S-Line, looking at you. See, I got that wrong. I've always just gone with,
It's the same rules. It's the same
whichever was
rules. But
quickest.
yeah, I think that's it.
And I wonder also, because how many junctions can be quite close to one another, and you try to work out in what lane to be in.
And also the left feed junction, the left junction, not the right junction. What is that about?
That what there's one when you get beyond is it beyond the outlets? Beyond the outlets up at the top of I-4, where you actually need to be in the left lane to go, and you're like, this feels so wrong.
Yeah.
I am in a completely I'm coming off the highway here.
I'm going left.
Yeah.
It's like junction 75, something like that. I can't remember which
not
one it is.
Not for the British. That's it.
No, I am with you on that.
Yeah. Goodness me.
Yeah.
We've done a good job talking about driving.
Yeah.
We have for an hour and 21 minutes.
And we didn't mention Wawa once.
No.
We didn't talk about a Wawa.
No.
I haven't been to a Wawa yet.
Because they have
there is a Tesla.
No. There's a Tesla. The one on the 192, that Wawa has Tesla charging stations.
I have still not been to one.
Oh, Claire.
I know.
Like I said, you need to press the button. Take you and Anna to the Wawa.
Oh,
it is a gas station heaven experience.
Is it like the ones you get in France on the way to Disneyland Paris, where you pull off and it's like
no, it's just like, and actually someone's probably shouting it out at me, because actually if you do that, or you can do, was it Buc-ee's in Florida, which is more of a retail experience than it is a gas station experience. But hey, I will gladly go and do a show from a Buc-ee's.
I will stick with Panera Bread and Five Guys. But that's it.
I love that. Must do Buc-ee's and give you.
Thank you, Mark. I knew someone had been shouting at me.
My Speedway. I'm all right. I can manage Speedway.
Yeah, if we mention Wawa, Buc-ee's is just like the steroidal version.
I kind of feel like I've missed out.
Check out YouTube, Claire. It's just the most bizarre thing. It's just like it is like having, I'm thinking of somewhere like Lakeside down where you live. Big massive shopping, not quite mall size, but I tell you, a petrol station with just the most hugest shop. Yeah, it's just.
I feel like I need to go.
Yeah.
Do you think I could put an expenses claim in? We could just do a John drives Florida and goes to Buc-ee's. Yeah,
we should do a series if one is out there. We just film a bit of Florida,
some random place.
That'd be fun. Oh my goodness!
I need to watch it. I need to watch this show back to see how many little nuggets of ideas for what's coming beyond our 100th show. Because that is coming podcast-wise very soon. Indeed. I would also hasten to add that since we're so late into the show, nobody's going to be listening to this. And if you are, you truly are a fan. We've had an absolute nightmare of a week. We recorded our 100th show, and it has disappeared into cyberspace. And we can't get it back. So we're going to have to record it again. So all the time,
they say? Once more with feeling.
Exactly. 100th. Hey, I can see a show title coming there. 100th time with feeling. Yeah. But I've got to say, tonight has been exactly what we've needed. I know we have actually. We've really suffered. We've suffered so much over 24 hours, and I know Ben in particular has, and also people are not on screen. Tonight it's be when you know you've recorded something, it's going to be the most amazing thing to put out to everyone who listens to us, and we can't even get our hands on it. We don't even know where it is. It's just gone.
See, I like Mark's put Bucky's has 100 fuel pumps.
Yeah,
imagine it in episodes.
I can't even imagine what that looks like.
It's just bizarre. It's
you
brilliant.
say Bucky though, I think Barnes. So
do I.
Sebastian
That's where my brain
it is the Winter Soldier themed gas station.
John wouldn't go there. It's Marvel themed.
But
and 100 is not the number of Marvel films or shows that John's watched.
Exactly. Yeah, you just see you get that in every time, Ben. It's really, I love this. It's really good.
It's either that or Becca tells everyone
how old she is. Yeah, but and that's two things. That's two things that just disappeared from the show that we recorded the other day. It's just like, hey, we go again and we will record it. We will we'll
do better.
Yeah,
it will be. It'll
and we'll download it before anything else. And
we'll still make mention of it and whinge about it.
For the next 100 shows.
Yeah, and that's what makes it special. And actually come to a Wednesday and actually be able to share, no matter how bad a week, good a week, or whatever a week you're having, come and join us every single Wednesday, because we will just have a bit of a giggle, a bit of a lose yourself in whatever life throws at you, because that's what we try and do ourselves. So thank you all so much for joining us. I could sign off with all the usual stuff. Ben, have we actually got I don't even know whether or not we've got a video.
Yes, we do have a video.
Yeah. This is what's coming up. This is what's coming up. So there you have it. We've gone for an hour and a half, which is really good, because actually it shows us when we re-record the 100th show.
I also want to say something. For those listening on the podcast that is out on Friday, you don't have a clue what is coming up, because that was just music playing to you.
I just realised that.
She said that, Phil. Yeah.
So we have a new podcast out on the 1st and 15th of every month. Over the next couple of weeks, we're talking about festive food.
Yeah.
Is that right? And is Jollywood Nights worth it?
Okay. Now,
someone going to Jollywood Nights?
Yeah, they've not mentioned it.
They haven't mentioned the fact that they go to Florida right now. And also, I know Robin and Simon aren't with us tonight. But actually, they're going to be there by the time we record as well. So, yeah.
Safe travels.
Yeah, absolutly. But
next Friday.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling right left. I'm feeling right left out here. I'm gonna have a strop.
We'll call you.
No, you need to have a Google and book something. John.
I'll send you all the pictures, John.
Yeah, I know, and Claire and Anna as well. Yeah, it's just a special message. Yeah, I want to see all them pictures, because actually I want to be part of that.
You do.
The naughty part of me. If I can be going to London tomorrow to go and see a band, just because I want to, and
Oh, Billy Piper.
I know, but I would just love to. Part of me, deep down, would just love to just book a flight and just go and go and have 5 minutes. I know, yeah.
That's how our trip last Christmas turned out.
Yeah. That's how our trip in October came about as well.
Yeah, it's Black Friday, John. There's probably a deal somewhere.
There will be. Yeah. And by next Tuesday, the divorce papers will be in the post.
Oh, it'll be great. And I won't be on next week, because we'll be at the airport.
Premiering, won't you, Claire?
I wasn't putting it in. I was going to
I'm
say
going to get a bell. I'm going to get a bell every single time Claire says something like cling, ding, ding.
What I was about to say was, I hope you have a great show. I'm very jealous that you're talking about the Christmas food and I'm not going to be part of the show, because actually looks amazing, the food that they brought out for Festival of Holidays and all of that stuff. And I look forward to seeing some people in the chat maybe when we're there. So I hope you have a great show next week, and I will see you the following week with Anna to talk about our experience. So just think, in 2 weeks' time, you'll be able to go, oh, it's all over.
I'm just thinking that show's going to be car crash. Isn't it? It's just
I think we'll be.
I was going to say, John, most of our shows are.
I don't know.
And on topic for tonight.
I don't see what I did. But yeah, in the meantime, join us in Waffle's arms. We'll continue the inane chat about all the things that come up. Oh, see Carrie bits here. No, that doesn't work well to end the show for the podcast, right? I've got a real soft spot for everyone listening to this show. As a podcast. Carrie,
I'm very sorry.
Chat, none of us have said, right, this is Carrie's fault, right? The thing I took from today, this is quite a good way of finishing the show, isn't it? The thing I took from today, someone learned how to blow a trombone in a car. I think that's a wonderful way in which to finish